That would be fine with me.
It's at 9 o'clock in the morning.
February 25th at 9 a.m.
All right, February 25th at 9 a.m. will be your next court date, but you will not need to appear. Okay? All right. And all right, and what is this lady's name who's now in the courtroom? Oh, okay. All right, so that takes care of. You can always go to the fifth floor and leave your information with them so you can schedule a meeting to discuss your case with your attorney. Okay. All right, thank you so much. Okay, who do we have next?
All right, you want to start at the top, Your Honor?
Sure.
Okay, that would be Matthew Arabello, and he has two cases,
All right.
20 CF 1567 and 20 CF 1571.
I don't know why, but I'm having a hard time hearing you this morning. Let me see if it's from my end. And all right, say something.
Okay, is this Tammy Wilson, State Attorney at your office, Your Honor?
Hey, Ms. Wilson, I think it's my speakers. They don't seem to be working. I can hear you, but I'm just going to have to listen a little more carefully. All right, Matthew Aravello, 20 CF 1571 and 1567. What are we doing for Mr. Aravello? Ms. Wilson, I can't hear you.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. It completely froze up on the side, but I'm now I have you back.
Okay.
It is Matthew Aravello, is 20
Yes.
CF 1567, and then he also has the second case is 20 CF 1571. This is Mr.
Yes.
Barger's case.
Yes, Mr. Barger? There he is. Mr. Barger, you're muted.
And Your Honor, let me go and check on Mr. Barger. If we could recall that case.
Okay, we can recall that. Do we want to go on to the next cases, which appear to be yours, Mr. Khalil, which are Alex Jacinto Arias, and he's got 20 CF 1562 and 26 CF 1602?
Yes, Your Honor. The state and the defense are close to an agreement. Can we also move this to the next CMC? We'll defer to the court on how many cases are on that 25th docket. I'm not sure which one the clerk would prefer these cases to go to.
Okay. I know that Judge Manuelich is trying to limit the number of cases on these dockets so that they don't become too overwhelming, but I don't know where we're at with them. So I will defer to the clerk with respect to the February versus the March docket.
Your Honor, we'd be looking at February 1st. I'm sorry, April 1st.
April 1st.
All right, Mr. Khalil, how's April 1st sound? That way, if you get it resolved, you can figure out a plea date with everyone that works.
Yes, that works, Your Honor. This will be we're just very close on it, and it should fall off that docket.
Sounds good. All right, next I see Isaac Balcom, and that's 20 CF 790. Mr. Khalil, also your case.
Your Honor, if we can set this for trial with time to hear a motion to suppress. So we'd prefer
Okay, so we'll set this on a pre-trial with a trial cycle. What date would that be?
We're looking at pre-trial June 8th at 9 a.m. Calendar call June 22nd at 9 a.m. Trial cycle June 28th at 9 a.m.
That works.
How's that work for you, Mr. Khalil?
That works, Your Honor. Thank you.
I'm
All
sorry,
right,
Judge. I couldn't hear anything. I need those dates again.
Okay.
Pre-trial June 8th at 9 a.m. Calendar call June 22nd at 9 a.m. Trial cycle June 28th at 9 a.m.
Thank you.
And Mr. Ashby, does the witnesses work for that trial cycle?
Yeah, those days and times work for the state. Hello?
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you, everyone. The next case I see is Lorena Barrows, 20 CF 1217. Is Attorney Ward in the room?
Morning, Your Honor. Zachary
Morning,
Ward,
sir.
Ms. Barrows requesting the April 1st case management conference.
Any objection to the April 1st case management?
No objection with a waiver of speedy trial.
With a waiver.
Okay.
April 1st at 9 a.m.
Thank you. All right, next would be Carrie Belcher, 20 CF 1451. Mr. Clark, you there? I don't see him yet, so let's skip that one. How about Mr. Nagel, Jonathan Blank, 20 CF 1552?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Mr. Judge Manuelite to sign an order for Mr. Blank to be evaluated for competency at this point. The order was signed last week. The evaluation has not taken place yet. I'd ask that we put this on the next case management docket to see where we stand at with the competency report and if the determination of competency can be made before that date or not.
Okay.
State would agree, Your Honor. This is Laura Mason for the state. We would agree. I think at this point, if Mr. Nagel's okay with it, we'd ask for the maybe the April date.
Mr. Nagel, any response?
That's fine, Judge. As I said, the competency issue is the foremost concern at the moment. So.
Okay. Well, hopefully April will give you sufficient time to make that determination, and then we can move from there.
Yes.
I believe this is the first time up. Is that with a waiver, Mr. Nagel?
Yes.
Thank you.
And the date is April what?
April 1st at 9 a.m. I'm sorry.
That's okay. When everybody talks at once, everybody gets a little jumbled, but we got it. Okay, next I'm seeing Martin Bowers, 20 CF 1478. Mr. Khalil.
Your Honor, if we can set this for plea as soon as possible. I believe there's a plea docket tomorrow at 9:30. There are 11 cases, but it will result in his release.
Okay.
We are asking for the plea date for tomorrow, if that works with the state.
Oh, okay. Didn't I already take care of that one? No? Okay. All right. I have no problem putting it on a plea docket tomorrow if everybody else is in agreement.
The state's in agreement, Your Honor.
All right. So we'll set this for tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. I don't see that one on my docket, Joe. What's that case number?
1552. CF 1552.
Let me just look it up because I don't see it on my docket. What is it? What's the number?
1552.
50. Is it 20 CF 15?
20 CF.
20 CF 1552. All right. Do I have Jonathan Blank on my docket? I didn't see that for whatever reason on my docket. 20 CF 1552.
It's on the clerk's notices for today, Your Honor.
Okay. It just didn't hit Smart Bench for some reason. What are we doing with that case?
We just addressed it.
Oh, we did. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I had somebody ask me to call it, and I was like, I don't see it on my docket, but that's because we already addressed it. So never mind. All right. Let's see. The next one I see is, what's the next one that you have on the list, just to make sure I didn't call the wrong case?
Brahini?
Michael Brahini.
All right,
20
Michael Brahini,
CF
which is
1390.
20 CF 1390. Mr. Ward. Mr. Ward.
Yes, Your Honor. Requesting, would the May 6th case management conference be possible with a waiver?
Any objection?
No objection.
All right, May the 6th,
At 9 a.m.
9 a.m. What is this gentleman who's just entered the courtroom? What's his name?
What's your name, sir?
Mr. Frank. All right, give me a minute. All right, Mr. Frank, you are unrepresented. This is 20 CF 1643. And Mr. Frank, are you intending to get an attorney, or would you like to see if you qualify?
Yes, ma'am. I'm actually trying to book it remainer. I was gonna actually ask if we can see if my lawyer actually if I can get another but you know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right, so Mr. Frank is in the courtroom. He has indicated that he's trying to get a retainer together in order to retain an attorney to assist him. He would like us to continue this to another court date. Is there another court date that we could give him that would allow him the opportunity to retain an attorney and keep this case on track?
April 1st at 9 a.m.
So next court date's April 1st at 9 a.m. If you hire the attorney, it is likely that you will not be appearing in person, but you'll need to just check with the attorney to see what the protocols are in place in April, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir. Yes, do you have another question?
Yes, ma'am. I had brought some stuff because I don't have an attorney. I kind of like to figure out, I'm learning in my private court a little bit, so I figured this is kind of the same thing. Before it gets to, I want to talk to the prosecutor to see if they actually got a case against my case and present a couple of information. My side of the story of it.
Okay,
I would like to present the paperwork to have them understand where I'm coming from there.
I understand. Okay, well, there was an information that was filed in your case November the 24th, which is a charging document, so official charges have been filed against you. If you are planning on hiring an attorney, it may be wise to discuss the paperwork that you have that you want to present first before you drop it off. But you certainly can drop your information off to the state attorney's office without an attorney because you currently don't represent yourself. But usually when people want to hire an attorney, attorneys are the ones that can guide you through what you should share, what you shouldn't share, or if you should share everything. So I don't know the answer to that.
I'm all for it. I'm cool. You know,
So we're all good. We've moved you to April, and whatever you want to do in the meantime is up to you, but we'll see you.
Tribe did not want to release the footage of the incident, and I kind of wanted to have some pinpoints of, of my actions in a sense.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because they're saying I have to request it from them because the sovereignty of the tribe.
I don't know whether the state attorney's office will meet with you or not. I don't know if they normally meet with pro se individuals, but they certainly will accept any information you want to provide to them. You can certainly provide your information to them that may or may not be helpful to your case. So just understand that. Okay? All right, thank you.
Your Honor, if I may, we will not meet with a pro se defendant, and we would.
I didn't think so.
And we would ask that he not bring any material to our office.
Oh, the state attorney's office does not want you to drop off the material at their office on your case. See, that I'm learning and with respect to handling a different docket, because when I am in misdemeanor court, oftentimes the prosecutor assigned to my court says they do want information that is defensive in nature, and so I do tell them to drop it off. So this is a little bit different. So in this particular case, that's not their preference. Okay, all right, so thank you. April's your date. You're welcome. All right. Okay, let's go back. All right, we have no one else in the courtroom, so I can take this off. Maybe you guys can hear me a little bit better. All right, so let's go back up to where we were. Mr. Barger, I see you're back. Let's discuss Matthew Aravalo, which is 20 CF 1571 and 20 CF 1567.
Yes, we have received discovery. We have not received an offer. I have met with my client. There are no competency or conflict issues. I would ask to put this to the April 1st case management conference. Should be ready to go on that day.
Okay.
Is there a waiver
objection?
trial?
We'll waive speedy trial.
I have no objection, Your Honor. According to what I see, it looks like there's deposition set at the end of this month, so I have no objection.
All right, thank you. That'll be your
April
date,
1st
April
at
6th.
9 a.m.
Thank you. Did we address Mr. Belcher or Ms. Belcher, 20 CF 1451? We did. I didn't knock it off my screen.
We did not, Your Honor, because regional counsel was not on yet.
Oh, okay, that's right. I need to move her to second call. That's what I need to do. Okay, and then I'm going to skip Mr. Billy because he's not here. Tyler Brancati, 20 CF 1606. And that's also Mr. Barger.
Yes, Your Honor. What we would just do is move this to the April 1st with a waiver.
Any
No
objection?
objection, Your Honor. No objection.
All right, thank you.
April 1st at 9 a.m.
April 1st, 9 a.m. All right, the next one I have is your case, Mr. Khalil Enrique Carabalosa, I'm sorry, 20 CF 951. What are we doing in this case?
Your Honor, can we set this on the April 1st CMC? He has a due law violation with arraignment on February 8th, and we just want enough time to get discovery in both cases.
Yeah, with the waiver speedy trial?
With a waiver.
No objection from the state.
Okay,
April
Second.
1st at 9 a.m.
April 1st, 9 a.m. All right, next is Allison Christian, Mr. Barger, 20 CF 1481.
Yes, Your Honor, we would ask to go to the May 6th case management conference with a waiver.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay,
May 6th at 9 a.m.
thank you. How about Brooklyn Clements, 20 CF 1348?
That's my case, Your Honor. We are in the process of getting the appropriate orders signed in order to depose certain individuals in this case. So it's taken a little longer to get the depositions going in this case. What I would ask is that we put this on for a case management the April 1st, the early April court case management date. By then, we should have all the paperwork set, deposition scheduled from there, and we can have a better time frame as to when this case will be ready for resolution.
And the state has no objection to April 1st, Your Honor.
And waive speedy trial.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Your Honor, we're going to start looking towards May 6th.
Okay, thank you. So that will be the last one that we'll set on that April 1st docket.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Victor Collins, 20 CF 1325.
And Your Honor, Abdul Khalil on behalf of Mr. Collins. This is the first time up. He's still deciding if he should take the offer, if we can move to the next CMC with the waiver.
Which my understanding now will be May 6th.
Yes.
No objection.
May 6th at 9 a.m.
All right, how about Ricardo Concepcion? He has two cases, 20 CF 1134 and 20 CF 1506.
Similar situation, Your Honor, if we can move to the May 6th CMC with the waiver.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor. I just want to inform the court that the defendant currently does have, the court did grant the state's motion to revoke bond. There's currently an order out there for the defendant's pickup.
Okay. So I'm sure we'll find him.
May
We're going to
6th,
set this. Yep,
sorry, May 6th at 9 a.m.
great. All right, and then we have 19 CF 351, Jessica DeBull or DeBall, Mr. Hollander, or is that Ms. Hollander?
Your Honor, Lee Hollander was counsel on this case. Mr. Hollander was counsel on this case. He did withdraw the last court date due to having no contact with his client for several months. That order was signed back on December 28th. The court mandated that the defendant actually be present here in court today. The state's motion for a bond revocation, a bench warrant, my apologies, was denied on December 28th, but it was to be entertained at this date if the defendant did not appear.
Okay, let me just take a look at the notices. I thought at these case managements, their presence was waived. Is the reason that the judge ordered her to be here is because Mr. Hollander in fact withdrew?
Yes, Your Honor, and because Mr. Hollander had had no contact with his client for several months, which is the basis for his withdrawal.
Okay. I think at this time, then the court will grant the request for a bench warrant. What's the request for bond?
Your Honor, the state would ask for to double the bonds. It'd be $10,000 on count 1 and $4,000 on count 2.
Just take a look at the
If you can
charges.
hear me, I can't hear anything.
The request was for 10,000 to count 1 and 4,000 on count
Everybody
2.
froze on me.
Bench warrant.
I
Lisa,
think I
can you
gotta
hear
go
me?
to the freaking courtroom.
Lisa, can you hear me?
I don't think she can.
Lisa, you there?
Yeah, would it be okay if I come to the courtroom because you guys keep freezing on me?
That's fine.
Okay, thank you. I'll be there in a minute.
Okay. That'll give me a chance to take a look at this.
Oh my goodness, that is crazy. Paula, can you do me a favor? Can you get over here and log out for me? I gotta go.
See, now I hear you just fine. Okay. Where's the first appearance order? There we go. It said initially that she qualified for pretrial release. Was she on pretrial release or did she post bond?
I'm showing that she posted bond. I have on the docket I'm holding says that she had bonds, a surety bond of 5,000 on count one from Liberty Bail Bonds. Trying to give me one moment.
Usually it shows up on the dashboard that the bond was posted. I don't see it. Oh. I see a pretrial supervision order on February 15th of 2019 that says that she signed it. That she signed up for pretrial supervision. So was that? Oh, okay. Hi there. Oh, no worries. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out in person. So pretrial supervision affidavit and warrant. So she apparently wasn't able to do pretrial supervision, so they withdrew it. And then there was a warrant in 2019, and her bond then was set at 14,000. And what happened here? Then there was an attorney that withdrew in May of 2019. And then did she post the bond?
No, Your Honor. On August 29th, she was released on her own recognizance to sign up for the 6A diversion, which she never did. I don't believe she ever did.
Okay.
At which time she was then picked back up on a bench warrant. And bonds were issued at 5,000 and 2,000 at that time in February.
All right. Okay, I see that. And then Liberty Bail Bonds paid the bail bond in February of 2020. And then she retained new attorney, Mr. Hollander. And that was April of 2020. And then Mr. Hollander subsequently has had no communication with her. All right, the court will grant the state's request and set the bond at 10,000 on the first count and 4,000 on the second count.
Your Honor.
Your Honor, if I may?
Yes.
This case is currently tracked as expedited. Is that to remain, or are we changing it to standard?
I think if it's set as expedited, we should keep it that way. If Judge Manuelich wants to change it later, he can. My guess is that if they found her the first time, they'll find her the second time. And once we get her picked up, we'll try to figure out why she is having all these difficulties with appearing for court and or doing the tasks that have been assigned to her. She's obviously having some difficulties, so I don't know what's going on with her, but I think we'll find out.
Judge, may I comment on that?
Yes, ma'am.
If we could, it would be the state's request to go ahead and change that to standard. Typically, we would have it as expedited when it's on the ERC docket, but once it goes to a regular docket, changing it to standard typically would also change the goal date. So I think it would probably be our request to change that to a standard case.
Okay, well, I understand. If that's the state's request, then the court would grant that. We'll put it on the standard track then. And are we going to give her another court date in light of the fact that we issued the warrant and still set this at some point?
No, Your Honor. I believe that at this point we'll wait till she's picked up by the sheriff's office, and then she'll get her first appearance, and she'll get a new court date at that time.
All right, that sounds good. All right, the next one that I'm showing is Mr. Daniels Brown, who is not here, so I'm gonna...
Yes, ma'am. I'm here.
Oh, yes, he is?
Yes,
okay, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were over Zoom. My apologies.
Yeah, I had to call the courthouse, Your Honor. It's been a morning because I'm new to this Zoom, and I was freaking out. I couldn't get in the courtroom, and the young lady was a sweetheart, and she got me connected. So
awesome.
I don't know.
All right.
I don't know.
Well, I'm glad you got it figured out, sir. This is
Yes,
case
ma'am.
number 20CF1198. And Sir, I see that you do not have an attorney. Do you wish to have an attorney help you?
Yes, ma'am. I'm in the process of hiring an attorney. I'm just trying to get the money together. With
Okay.
with being unemployed for COVID and everything right now, it's kind of slow. So I'm working on that, Your Honor.
Have you made an application for the services of the public defender? With your statement that you're unemployed, it's possible that you may qualify.
No, I haven't, ma'am. I will look into that. I had told Judge Montelich that a few months ago when I had talked to him that I was going to maybe check into that. But then I was under the impression that this case was getting dropped, but then it wasn't. So yes, I got everything in order. I'm getting it in order, I should say.
Okay. Well, I would suggest that you do that quickly if in fact you wish to be represented by the services of the public defender, because if you indicated to Judge Montelich that you were going to do that last time, and that was several months ago, that leads me to believe that you've had several months to at least make application and see whether you qualified. So the court may not be as gracious next time if you come in a third time and say, I'm intending to file the application, but I haven't, because your case needs to move forward, sir.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
also note that your mail is being returned. Your address that's on file is 309 Storter Avenue South, Everglades City, and I'm showing at least 2 return mails for you. Is that an incorrect address, sir?
Yes, ma'am. We have a PO box that where our mail gets delivered. Then we don't no longer get mail at the door no more. Because I live on a little island, Chokoloskee Island, and I'm about an hour from y'all.
Can you give us, please, your PO box so we can ensure that you get notice?
Yes,
it's important for us to get notice to you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. PO Box 305, Everglades City, Florida 34138.
34138?
Or 34139. Yeah.
Okay, 34139. So we're going to change your address from the 309 Storter Avenue South address to PO Box 305, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
With the same Everglades City address and the same zip code. And hopefully that way we'll get the information that we need to you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so now we need to figure out where we're going to schedule your case. Where should we put Mr. Brown's case at this point?
We're looking still May 6th, Your Honor, at 9 a.m.
So May 6th at 9 a.m., Mr. Brown, that should give you ample opportunity to make application to the services of the public defender, and also to find out if you do not qualify, to inquire whether you can retain your own attorney if you would like. Of course, you're always able to represent yourself if you would like to do that too, but I understand that you at least would like to investigate your opportunity to obtain the services of an attorney. That makes sense?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
All right,
the
thank you
speedy trial period would be run, although speedy is currently told, where the speedy trial period for this case would run in February. And since we're scheduling this for a case management that's so far out, we would ask that speedy trial be waived.
Okay, Mr. Brown, do you understand the request from the state?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
And are you going to waive speedy trial? Your case will not be able to be heard within the speedy trial period. And you are asking the court for more time in order to see if you can get an attorney, which means that you probably would not be ready to have your case tried within that speedy trial period. So the question is whether you would be willing to waive speedy trial in order to allow you to make further investigation into your case.
No objection, Your Honor. I will waive it.
All right. Thank you, sir. Okay. And you can sign out now, Mr. Brown. Thank you for zooming in today.
Okay. Thank you so much, Your Honor. You have a blessed day. Bye-bye now.
You too. All right. Bye. How about Jacob Fuerst, 20 CF 1614 and 20 CF 1404, Mr. Barger.
Yes, Your Honor. Justin Barger on behalf of Jacob Fuerst. We do have an offer on the table at this point. He is willing to accept that offer. What we would ask to do is put this to the 129 date. There's a plea date there for Judge Montelich.
All right.
Is it in custody or out of custody?
He's out of custody.
This needs to be changed just in case it does not plea. We need to have this changed to a standard track.
Okay. That's fine. Did you say January 29th? I'm not showing a plea date of January 29th. The plea date that I see is tomorrow for January. February 2nd is the next plea date I see.
On his master calendar, Your Honor, it looked like he had some dates on the 29th. If not, we can go to February. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm showing the February 2nd also.
That would be fine.
February 2nd? Okay, February 2nd at 10 a.m. is the next plea date?
Your Honor, if I may,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. First only had one case, but you called two. The next case was Fuentes Lopez.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. I did. I was wrong. Mr. First only has the 20 CF 1614. All right, and so we've set him for the plea. Did you also want to set another date in the event that this case does not plea? Set another case management?
No, Your Honor, we can change it from the plea date to case management if anything falls through.
Okay, perfect. All right, then we have Lucrecia Fuentes Lopez, 20 CF 1404. Also your case, Mr. Barger?
I would ask to put this to the May 6th date with a waiver.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
May 6th at 9 a.m.
All right, Mr. Barger, the next one is also yours. Juan Galvin, 20 CF 1317.
Yes, Your Honor, this is the first time up. I would ask for May 6th with a waiver.
Any objection? Any objection from the state to the May 6th date request?
Steve, you're muted.
Mr. Maresca, is this your case?
Yes, Judge. I'm sorry, I was muted. We have no objection with a waiver speedy trial.
All right, thank you.
May 6th at 9 a.m.
All right, and next we have Patrick Garamo, 20 CF 971. Mr. Ward?
Yes, Your Honor, this is presently set for a plea on January 29th at 9 a.m. If we could move CMC to that date and time to address in case the plea falls through.
I just don't see a January 29th at 9 a.m. plea docket.
We just
It's
got
not-
that date from yesterday from Judge Manlynch's JA, so I think he may have just opened it up.
He may have opened it up. I understand from our clerk that in fact, there is a plea date on there. Let me just look at its calendar real quick. January 29th. It says on his calendar hearing, but those may just be pleas. There's only 2 on there, so it would make sense to start setting a few on there on that January 29th date. So thank you for letting me know that. I just didn't see it on his calendar when I looked. Okay, so we can set that for the 29th.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next we have Stephen Georger, 20 CF 1170. Mr. Verderamo.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm new on this case. I've been on this case since the end of December. I'm going to ask for a case management conference. I heard the May 6th date.
Any objection?
No objection from the state on that.
Okay.
May 6th at 9 a.m.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Yes. Oh, it should actually go on the 1:30 because it's a private attorney. This is the PD pro se docket. So that will be moved to the 1:30 on the same date.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. All right. Robert Green, 2018 CF 810. Mr. Khalil?
Your Honor, I believe this case was no pros for completion of diversion.
That's correct, Your Honor. The notice of no pros was filed on December 9th, so I'm not sure how we got it back on this docket.
I don't know.
It's also in the clerk system on showcase line 193.
Check that, Lisa. She's just checking it real quick.
Sure.
Yep, it'll be fixed. Thank you. The next one I see is Jonathan Gutierrez, 19 CF 1757. Mr. Ward?
Your Honor, we're in the process of coordinating a plea date. My client is technically still in 6A diversion, but is in the process of getting kicked out. My client is blind and in Fort Myers. So if we could just go to another CMC and we'll coordinate a plea date between then and now.
Okay. What date would that be?
The May 6th is fine. We'll try to get it scheduled much sooner than that.
May
Is there a
6th,
waiver of
9
speedy
a.m.
trial?
It was waived entering diversion, Ms. Wilson, yes.
Okay, thank you. No objection.
All right, thank you. Then how about Cornelio Hernandez Castro, 20 CF 1549.
Your Honor, can we move this to the plea date, January 29th?
Yes. January 28th, 9 a.m. Yes, for a plea. All right, Belinda Jones, 19 CF 440. Also, Mr. Cleo.
And Your Honor, Miss Janes, I've had no contact with her. We'll defer to the court if we can set this on the next CMC date.
I think we should set it on the next CMC date, Mr. Khalil. I think that if we want to, well, let me just ask you this. Is it the intent of the public defender's office to withdraw from representing her due to having no contact with her?
No, Your Honor, that's not our intent.
Okay. I mean, because right now we don't have the defendants present, so I don't know that I could necessarily order her to appear when she's represented by counsel. So I think we'll leave it up to you to try and reach out to her to see if you can find her. It doesn't look like anything's being returned on her behalf. You may just have a bad phone number for her or something. They want to see if you can, send somebody out to her house or something. She does live in Naples, so she shouldn't be that hard to find, I would hope.
I'll put an investigation request to try and find her. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So what date are we going to set for this lady?
We can move to the May 6th CMC date.
Okay. Thank you.
May
That
6th.
with waiver, Your Honor?
Yes, with the waiver of speeding.
Your Honor, the state would request that at the next court date that due to the defense having no contact with the defendant, that the defendant's presence be mandatory.
I'm not going to order that at this point. However, if at the next court date, Mr. Khalil provides information to Judge Minor-Leach that he did actually send an investigator out to her house and that she doesn't live there or she's moved or something like that, then we may want to require her appearance. Just the fact that he hasn't had a communication with her doesn't feel like enough to me at this point to compel her appearance. But if we find that she's absconded or something, there's some other reason why we can't find her, then I think the court could entertain it then.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Shannon Jenkins, Mr. Barger, 20 CF 1112.
We would ask to put this to the May 6th date. I've spoken with Ms. Jenkins. We do have an offer. We're working to get that resolved.
Okay, thank you.
No objection, Your Honor.
May 6th at 9 a.m.
Tanneris Jones, 20 CF 1435. Mr. Clark.
Yes, Judge. Good morning.
Good morning.
Judge, Mr. Jones, I have half of the discovery. I spoke with Mr. Ashby's secretary yesterday. I think she's sending me the other half of the discovery. For some reason, it just didn't get to my office, so I would ask for a continuance to that May date so that I can get the discovery and review it with the client.
And is that with a waiver, Mr. Clark?
Yes, Judge, with the waiver.
Okay,
No objection, Your Honor.
thank you.
May 6th at 9 a.m.
And Mr. Clark, I'm going to recall Carrie Belcher, 20 CF 1451, also your case?
Yes, Judge. Miss Belcher's case, I received an offer from Miss Wilson. I was able to convey that to Miss Belcher yesterday. I would just ask for the, are there any dates that are sooner than that, the May date?
We did have some dates sooner, but I think they're all full.
Okay, well, let's do this. She just needed some time to, decide whether or not she wanted to take that particular offer. If we set it for the May date and she wants to go ahead and do that, we'll set it with Judge Manny-Leach's JA earlier for a resolution.
Perfect. All right, sounds good.
Is there a waiver of speedy trial?
Yeah, yes, Miss Wilson. It's fine.
Okay, next we have Enrique Loreno, 20 CF 1662, 20 CF 1399, and 20 CF 1396. Mr. Barger.
Your Honor, we would ask to go to the May 6th date with a waiver on all three cases.
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
May 6th at 9 a.m.
May 6th at 9. Yes, those are the next case. That's the next case management date that we're scheduling cases. All right, how about John Luis Pierre, 20 CF 1310, also Mr. Clark?
Yes, Judge, I need discovery on this case. I think Mr. Moresco is out the last time that we heard this at a case management, so if we could get that sent over to my office. I'd appreciate that. Then I can review that and get with my client. So if we could get the next, the May 6th date, and we'll waive the speedy trial.
That'd be fine.
All right, thank you.
May 6th at 9 a.m.
Next, we have John Francis Mara, 20 CF 1539, 20 CF 1475, 20 CF 652, and 20 CF 628. Mr. Nagel.
Yes, Judge. I just recently discovered what I believe is a conflict in our representation of Mr. Mara. I have submitted a request to have a conflict approved by the proper personnel in our office. I'm waiting for an answer on that. I believe it will be approved. What I would ask then is that we move this to the next case management docket to determine who the attorney representing Mr. Mara will be, because I do not believe it will be us at that point.
I believe that would be the May 6th docket.
Well, I would think that we probably want to possibly try and get an answer sooner than that before waiting to May 6th for that whole situation.
Judge, if Mr. Nagel is going to be submitting his conflict, I will obviously be doing my my analysis as well. So I mean, the May 6th date is fine with me at this point in time. If there's another counsel on it, then they will know about it.
Okay, then that's fine. If regional counsel is the next step after us on a conflict situation is all right with this, then we can use that date. If things change, obviously I'll bring it to the court's attention through his office sooner.
Okay. Sounds good. May the 6th.
Your Honor, if I may?
Yes.
20 CF 1539 needs a track assigned.
Okay.
I believe they all should be standard based on the nature of the cases.
Yes.
Is that correct? They should all be on standard track?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next is Christian Martinez Santiago, 20 CF 1152. Mr. Nagel, also your case.
Your
Oh, no,
Honor,
I'm sorry, Mr. Khalil, that's your case.
Yes, Your Honor, and if we can set this for trial.
What trial dates are we looking at?
It would be pre-trial June 8th at 9 a.m., calendar call June 22nd at 9 a.m., trial cycle June 28th at 9 a.m.
Okay.
All right, thank you. The next one is Matthias. Your case, Mr. Nagel, 20 CF 1511.
Yes, we're in the process of getting the deposition scheduled at this point. They are working on it at this time. If we use a pre-trial date, say, and well, I don't have the full calendar in front of me. What would the May pre-trial cycle trial date be with that?
I think we're looking at June right now, Mr. Nagel.
All right, we can go with those then. Let's do with the May pre-trial. I don't believe any witnesses other than one possible are out of Collier County, and that other one's in Hendry County. So it shouldn't take a tremendous amount of time to get the depositions done. So let's use that. Then I'll ask for that May pre-trial date. If things change due to people not showing up, we'll address it appropriately at that point.
It would be a June pre-trial date. June 8th pre-trial at 9 a.m. Calendar call June 22nd at 9 a.m. Trial cycle June 28th at 9 a.m.
All right, we can use those dates, and that's fine.
All right, thank you.
So, and I believe this is the first time up, Mr. Nagel. This is with a waiver?
Oh, absolutely, yes. Thank you, Ms. Mason, for catching that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have David Mozzarella, 20 CF 1515. Mr. Ward.
Yes, Your Honor, requesting the May 6th CMC with a waiver.
Any
No
objection?
objection, Your Honor. No objection.
Thank you.
May 6th at 9 a.m.
Misty McKinney, Mr. Khalil, 2019 CF 1135.
Your Honor, if we can move this to the next CMC date with the waiver.
Any objection?
No objection.
May 6th at 9 a.m.
Perfect. How about Jose Mendoza Amarellis, 20 CF 1474. Mr. Barger?
Sure, Mr. Barger, on behalf of Mr. Mendoza, we would ask to put this to the May 6th with waiver.
No objection.
Thank you. He did.
Your Honor, this case needs a track assigned also.
Okay.
It would be the standard track, please. The
Your
explicit
Honor.
would be appropriate now.
Standard track, thank you. All right, how about Cheryl Muston, 20 CF, or 2018 CF, I'm sorry, 1545, Mr. Clark.
Yes, Judge. In Miss Mustin's case, I spoke to her case manager yesterday. She's still in compliance with the plan that was given to her. I know that was forwarded to the state attorney's office earlier, and it's been filed with the court. So I would just ask that we set it for the May date. I mean, it's mainly a status situation at this point in time. We'll waive if it hasn't already been waived. I'm sure it has.
Vives un mensaje, Eduardo.
Your Honor, I don't have any objection to that. However,
Tiene dos
Mr. Clark, perhaps we can contact the judge's office to find out if there is a hearing docket that would be more appropriate, that we can get this set on so that we
That's
can
fine.
review it at some point. It doesn't
That's
have to be,
fine.
but if we can get that done, I'd appreciate it.
Okay, so the May 6th date for now, and then we'll try to set it. I'll coordinate with Miss Wilson.
Thank you.
Thank you.
May 6th at 9 a.m.
May 6th at 9 a.m. All right, I have two individuals that are over the line that look like they are not represented by counsel. The first one I see is Phone Juan Morin. Sir, what is your name?
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm actually an attorney. I'm representing Euclides Velez.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that your microphone was muted, which I kind of announced at the beginning. So I apologize. I thought maybe you were pro se.
No worries.
We'll just address yours right now, sir. You only have one case?
Yes, ma'am. It's Euclides Velez. It's case number, it's 2020. Oh, I had it up here a second ago.
CF 591.
Yes, that's correct. I've spoken with the state, Mr. Ashby, about it, and we've agreed to jointly request a reset to the April 1st CMC.
All right, that will be on a private attorney docket, which will be at 1:30. Is that right?
Correct.
Are we going to put that one on that May date?
We had spoken about April, but May will work as well. The May 6th date is fine with me, Your Honor.
Do we have room, Ms. Fuentes, on the April docket on the private attorney side? I know we didn't have room with the PD pro se.
We actually don't, Your Honor.
We don't.
May 6th is
Oh,
fine.
I'm sorry. April, we do. I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong date. It would be April 1st. That's correct. I apologize.
All right. So, sir, we can actually put you on that April 1st date, but at 1:30, because this is the docket you're on right now is the private, the public defender cases and the pro se cases.
Yes, Your Honor, that's fine. Thank you.
All right.
And
Thank you.
would that be with waiver?
Yes, if it hasn't already been waived, yes, we'll waive.
All right.
Your
Sounds
Honor,
good.
this case also needs a track assigned.
Oh, okay. And what track would that be, please?
It should be standard track, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, up on the right, what is your name? It says Moto Z4.
Oh, that'd be Jessica Dable.
All right, Miss Gable, let's check your case.
It's D as in David, Your Honor.
Oh, this is Miss Dable?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, we gotta change that. We're glad that you're here, Miss Dable. We didn't realize that you were here, and I had indicated that I was going to issue a bench warrant, so I'm not going to do that.
Thank you very much,
apologize.
Your Honor. No, thank you. I
Yes.
appreciate you noticing.
So, Ms. Dable, you were previously represented by Mr. Hollander, and
Yes.
Mr. Hollander has withdrawn as your attorney, and it looks like he withdrew. Let me look. It looks like he withdrew back in December, which means you don't presently have an attorney. Are you going to get yourself another attorney, or are you going to make application to see if you qualify for a public defender?
Yes, ma'am. What happened was it's my fault. I was confused when he did drop off of my case. I didn't know that I was okay to qualify without conflict of interest at the public defender's office because, well, due to prior to having Mr. Hollander, they had told me that I had gotten regional counsel when I called the public defender's office due to conflict of interest. But now apparently, after being confused and finally figuring it out, I now see that I can in fact call the public defender's office and have an attorney through there. So that's why I haven't gotten one through them yet.
Okay. Well, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, folks, that she would still need to make an application for the services of the public defender and qualify, or would she automatically qualify because she previously had regional counsel assigned to her? I don't know
You would
the
have to
whole
reapply her.
steps.
Okay.
Your Honor, she would have to reapply, and it looks like there was never a written order withdrawing Mr. Hollander. It showcase says defense to submit an order. My office won't open that case until there's a written order.
Okay. Is there anybody that would be willing to reach out to Mr. Hollander to suggest that, I mean, this case is, he was supposed to submit it back in December, that he needs to get that order in order to allow her to move forward, because we do want this case to proceed and not be, have a hang up simply because our defense attorney hasn't submitted his order to withdraw.
Judge, I'll walk down to his office, let him know when I get off of Zoom.
Oh, I appreciate that, Mr. Clark. Thank you.
No problem.
All right, so Ms. Dable, what we're going to do, I'm going to withdraw the bench warrant so that it never gets issued. And I apologize, I didn't realize that you were in the room. You, one kind of good little practice tip is that when you set up your Zoom account, set it up with your name so that instead of it saying Moto Z4, it'll actually pop up as Jessica Dable. It'll have your name. See how it says Ramiro Manuelich, even though that's not me, obviously. I'm covering for Judge Manuelich. But when I have my own Zoom account, it says Tamara Nicola up there, and that way people know who I am. And that way, when you enter the room, it says Jessica Dable. And then when I call your case, and I think maybe you're not here, I see your name.
I see. Okay, I apologize. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'll take care of that.
No problem. It's you have to go into the Zoom settings, and it'll show, like change name. And believe me, I had a little bit of user error in the beginning when I was setting up my Zoom account. And I actually did a tutorial on it, which it's not that hard once you sit down and figure it out, but it does take a few minutes to kind of maneuver the whole new website. So
right. Okay. Yeah. Because I was having some serious troubles. So I appreciate
we got you though, and we got you taken care of. And I'm glad that we did, because the worst thing would be for me to have you picked up and then find out that you just were having trouble with Zoom. That would make me feel terrible. So.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you. All right. So what date are we going to give her?
Your Honor, we can go to the May 6th date. That should give enough time for her to apply for the public defender's office, Mr. Hollander to submit the order removing himself, and new counsel to get up to speed, as well as discovery being sent to them.
All right, Ms. Dable. So we're going to move you to that May 6th date, which is the same docket that this one is. If you do find that you have an attorney that's representing you, you will not need to appear. If for some reason you are denied the services of the public defender, then you'll need to Zoom in just like you did today, okay? But just please try and see if you can change that moniker at the bottom so it shows your name instead of your phone, okay?
Definitely. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
Okay, you too. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. All right, next I see Pedro Padilla, and he's got 3 cases with Mr. Clark, 20 CF 1364, 20 CF 1417, and 20 CF 1360. Mr. Clark, what are we doing for this gentleman?
Yes, Judge, there are 3 cases. I've received the discovery. It's obviously, since there are 3 cases, there's a lot of discovery. I need to go through that, so I would just ask for the May 6th date so that I can review that and discuss with the client.
Okay, thank you.
Is there waiver of speedy, Mr. Clark?
Yeah, yes, Ms. Wilson, that's fine.
No objection, Your Honor.
May 6th at 9 a.m.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Give me 1 second. All right. And then the next one is Edna Pena, 20 CF 1028, Mr. Ward.
Yes, Your Honor, that's set for a plea tomorrow at 9:30. If we just want to move the CMC to that time in case the plea falls through.
All right, sounds good. Tomorrow at 9:30. The next one we have is Lisa Prince, who also has 2 cases, 2019 CF 1885 and 20 CF 1536. Mr. Ward.
Your Honor, if we could move these to the May 6 CMC with a waiver, she should be entering mental health court next week.
And Mr. Ward, I did receive a request that we go ahead and set this. We can go ahead and do the May, but it looks like they believe it will fall off very shortly. They have already created the contract for this. They're just waiting to hear back from one more officer, but they're not expecting any problems. So they expect they'll probably plea her in next week.
All right, so where do we want to put this as far as scheduling?
Just May 6 with waivers in both, please.
All right, thank you.
May 6 at 9 a.m.
All right, next we have Vincent Pupolo, 20 CF 854, also Mr. Ward.
Your Honor, can we set this for that June trial cycle? I think speedy has already been waived.
No objection, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Pre-trial June 8th at 9 a.m. Calendar call June 22nd at 9 a.m. Trial cycle June 28th at 9 a.m.
Thank you. Lavelle Ramsey, 20 CF 1098. Mr. Barger.
Mr. Honor, we would ask to put this to the June trial cycle as well. June 8th for pretrial conference, June 22nd for calendar call, and June 28th for trial. Waiver has already been done.
No objection from the state, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, next we have Alexander Sanchez Garcia, 20 CF 1490. Showing Mr. Miller, there he is.
Judge, I'm here. I apologize. I was, zooming out, basically.
You were zoomed out?
I was zoomed out.
Unlike zoned out, it's zoomed out now these days.
Yeah, it gets to me after a while. Judge, I was retained on Tuesday, and I just received discovery today, so I'm going to move to continue waive speedy trial, ask as far out for case management as I can, so I can get stuff done.
I think we're presently setting a May 6th date, which would be May 6th at 1:30. Does that work?
Judge, that is plenty.
Perfect.
No objection.
All right, May 6th at 1:30, Mr. Miller.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too. All right, Anthony Spagnolo, and there's three of them, 2019 CF 1726, 20 CF 1707, and 19 CF 62. Mr. Ward.
Yes, Your Honor. The May 6 CMC with a waiver. The older two cases are just VOPs tracking with the new law.
Objection, Your Honor.
Thank you.
May 6th at 9 a.m.
Thank you. Next would be Jason Sutif, 20 CF 434. Mr. Ward.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sutliff should be getting a pretrial diversion contract pretty soon and entering the diversion program, which will cause the case to fall off the docket. I just request the May 6 CMC to allow that to happen. We've already waived.
Okay, sounds good.
Objection.
May 6th at 9 a.m.
All right, next we have Robert Trevino, 20 CF 851. Mr. Barger.
And Your Honor, this is Tammy Wilson, State Attorney's Office. Just want to let you know, this case has a related case that has been filed in Lee County. And based on the charges there, I had to go ahead and null pros this grand theft. I did submit that this morning. So if we can just set this on the May 6th CMC date, it should fall off probably today or tomorrow.
Okay.
Your Honor, I don't have this case on my docket. I believe it already did fall off.
Oh, it did? It's showing up on Smart Bench.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, then we have Pedro Venencio, two cases, 19 CF 1092 and 19 CF 1098. Mr. Ward.
We can set these for trial, Your Honor.
Are we going to put it on this on the June dates, Ms. Fuentes?
Yes, it would be pre-trial June 8th at 9 a.m. Calendar call June 22nd at 9 a.m. Trial cycle June 28th at 9 a.m.
All right, thank you.
No objection, Your Honor.
Miguel Vasquez Perez, 20 CF 520, Mr. Ward.
We could also set these for that June trial cycle.
Okay.
One moment, Your Honor.
What's that, ma'am?
I just need a moment.
Okay, thank you.
The witnesses, thank you. I do not see an issue at this time, Your Honor, so no objection to that date.
Pre-trial June 8th at 9 a.m. Calendar call June 22nd at 9 a.m. Trial cycle June 28th at 9 a.m.
Perfect, thank you. Sean, I don't know if I'm gonna say this, Vicentainer, 20 CF 862, Mr. Khalil.
Your Honor, if we can set this for trial.
Okay, thank you. Are we still looking at that June date, Ms. Fuentes?
We are. I was just waiting for this date if they had any.
I'm looking, I actually do have law enforcement out in June. Can we go, the month after that should be fine if we can do that.
Okay, want to move that to July?
Pre-trial July 13th at 9 a.m. Calendar call July 27th at 9 a.m. Trial cycle August 2nd at 9 a.m.
Okay, perfect. How about Mick Vogel, 2 cases, 20 CF 1593 and 20 CF 1580, Mr. Khalil.
We're waiting on an offer in this case. If we can move to the May 6th CMC with the waiver.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
May 6th at 9 a.m.
All right, Robert Washington, 20 CF 961, Mr. Khalil.
Your Honor, if we can also move this to the May 6th CMC date.
Any objection?
Well, Your Honor, actually, that would be the third one. Let's just go ahead and set this one for trial.
Okay. Date?
Judge, the state has no objection to setting it for a trial. Are we still setting in June?
Correct.
I believe so, yes.
Pre-trial June 8th at 9 a.m. Calendar call June 22nd at 9 a.m. Trial cycle June 28th at 9 a.m.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Next, I see Craig Darren Watkins, 3 cases, 20 CF 1567, 20 CF 1592, and 20 CF 929. Interestingly, the only one that appears to have an attorney is the third one, which appears to be Attorney Youngblood. And is Mr. Youngblood on Zoom? Does not appear to be.
I have not seen him, Your Honor.
Okay, let's skip those and move to Roland Williams Fisher, 20 CF 1668.
I'm up, Your Honor. We would ask to move this to May 6th with the waiver.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
May 6th at 9 a.m.
And then Amanda Wilson, 20 CF 1675. Mr. Barger?
Yes, Your Honor, same thing. We would ask to move this to May 6th with the waiver.
No objection, Your Honor.
Thank
May
you.
6th at 9 a.m.
And then next we have Yordani Antonio Zaldivar, Mr. Khalil, 20 CF 864.
Your Honor, this is a diversion offer. He would like to reject that offer and set it for trial.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine. One moment, Your Honor.
Thank you.
It will be fine for the June date, Your Honor.
Pre-trial June 8th at 9 a.m. Calendar call June 22nd at 9 a.m. Trial cycle June 28th at 9 a.m.
Perfect. All right, not seeing Mr. Youngblood in the room. I'm trying to get him on the phone. Okay, how do you turn this darn thing on? set for trial? Mick Vogel, did we set him for trial? What do we do with Mr. Vogel?
I'm checking right now. He's set for May 6th, case management.
Case management, May 6th, yeah.
Okay, so Mr. Washington was the one that was set for trial.
Correct.
Sorry, there's varying volumes depending on which phone you use in the courtroom. This one's loud, which is good, so you guys can hear it. Anybody have a cell phone number for Mr. Youngblood? I'm calling the 405-1604. I have a feeling I'm going to get voicemail. It is.
Hello, this is Attorney Mark Youngblood. I'm not able to take your call right now. Please leave me a message and I'll call you back as soon as I can. Thank you.
Hi, Mr. Youngblood. This is Judge Nicola calling you from the courtroom this morning. You have a case on Judge Manulich's docket. I am covering for him this morning. The case is 20 CF 929 and the defendant's name is Craig Darren Watkins. We are at the end of the docket this morning and trying to decide where we will schedule Mr. Watkins. He also has two other cases before the court where it shows that he doesn't have an attorney. So I kind of need to know whether you're going to be representing him on those other two cases and also where we should schedule this case, sir. I do have Judge Manulich's docket up on Zoom. If you get this message, if you would please zoom in the next few minutes. Otherwise, I think we will address these cases without your presence this morning because we need to move them forward. Okay, thank you. All right, let's just go back to Mr. Billy, David Billy, 20 CF 1484. It appears he's not represented. He's not here. Anybody have any information on Mr. Billy? Oh, he's in custody. Okay.
Morning, Judge Brock Frazier for the state.
Hi, Mr. Frazier.
Good morning. As Your Honor just noted, Mr. Billy is pro se and in custody this morning. Mr. Billy does have another open case with the court that is set on Judge Manulich's February 2nd trial call. My request would be that we set this case for status only on that trial call to track with 17 CF 1381.
17 CF 1381 is the one that's set for February 2nd?
Correct. And it's set for trial on February 15th. In that case, Mr. Billy is represented by counsel.
Okay. I think that makes sense. So we'll just set this for that February 2nd date for status, and then we can figure out what he's going to do with this one as well. Sounds?
He just wants me to put it on the calendar call and not the trial docket?
Yes, just to have it for status because he's got another one where he does have an attorney, and that way we can inquire of the attorney whether he's going to also represent him on this one or she's going to represent him on this one. Who's the attorney on the other one, Mr. Frazier?
Who is it? I can't say off the top of my head, Your Honor.
Oh, it says that Mr. Cox, a private attorney. I don't know. Okay. All right. Well, that makes sense. All right, we'll do that. And then the last case, folks, that I've got on my docket is Mr. Watkins. So what do we want to do with Mr. Watkins? With Mr. Watkins not here and Mr. Youngblood representing him, it's always possible that he may think that he has Mr. Youngblood representing him for everything. And I hate to issue a bench warrant with the confusion that we have this morning, and particularly with an attorney who's not here.
Your Honor, Tammy Wilson, State Attorney's Office. I actually had the first case, the 20 CF 929. However, at this point is going to be following Mr. Maresca's more serious cases. And those are the two that he does not have an attorney on at this point. He is being held no bond due to the fact that he was arrested on the new charges. So on 20 CF 929, he should be in jail.
Oh, okay. All right. So do we want to move these cases to another case management?
Judge, can we maybe see if we can have it called up at the 1:30? You have the private attorney set for 1:30, and see if we give Mr. Youngblood an opportunity to call in then.
Sure. Is there anybody that wouldn't mind getting in touch with Mr. Youngblood just to advise him that we're going to call it at 1:30 and then he could zoom in then, and we'll recall these cases up at 1:30. That way I can at least inquire with Mr. Youngblood whether he's going to intend to represent him on the other 2 felonies as well. And then if he's not, then we can ask Mr. Watkins if he intends to hire another attorney or if he's going to see if he qualifies for the services of the public defender's office.
It looks like Mr. Youngblood is actually court appointed, so I'm assuming that he needs to apply for the public defender's office, and then Mr. Youngblood at some point would be appointed on him if he's willing to take the cases. But I'd be willing to go ahead and give him a call as soon as we're out of court.
All right, that sounds wonderful. Thank you, Ms. Wilson. That looks like it's everybody this morning.
Your Honor, I just have one thing.
Okay.
For Enrique Caraballosa, 20 CF 951, we need a track assigned.
Your Honor, I believe that should just be standard.
This is on Enrique Caraballosa?
Correct.
20 CF 951, and we wanted to set that on a standard track, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
And I think that's everybody for this morning. Right?
Allison Christian, 20 CF 1481. Also needs a track.
20 CF 1481. Oops, I'm sorry. Let me just pull it up. CF 1481. And okay, that is Allison Christian. And we need to put her on a track as well. Grand theft under 5,000.
We would ask to set that on a standard track, please.
All right, that'll be on a standard track too. Anything else, Ms. Fuentes? Oh, we have Mr. Youngblood.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Hi there, how are you? Did you get my message?
I did. I have this on my calendar for 1:30, so I apologize.
Well, that's okay. It for whatever reason, it was here at 9, and I don't know why. So I figured I would just call you just to see what we were doing with these, and I think Mr. Maresca has signed off.
Okay, well, I'm glad you did, and 9 a.m. is much more convenient. Now, on those Mr. Maresca cases, my impression was that I was going to be appointed to represent him on those, but I think I was waiting for an order, and I don't have an order, so I never, I guess, filed a notice of appearance.
Let me take a look at this. Could we have Mr. Maresca zoom back in? Ms. Wilson, could you check and see if he's around, if he could just zoom back in and we could just address Mr. Youngblood's case right now, if he's available.
Yes, Your Honor, I'll go down and get him back on.
All right, hold on a second. Mr. Youngblood, I just need to pull those cases back up because I had canceled them all off my docket. So let's find them. No, that's okay. I'm glad you got my message because lots of times people don't. Let's see here. Okay. All right, so you're appointed in 20 CF 929. Let me look at 20 CF 1557. So it says that on 12/17, court appoints Mark Youngblood to represent the defendant. Do you see that, Lisa? This is in 20 CF 1557. I see a note that he was appointed for that one. And then let's look at the other one. 20 CF 1592. And it also appears that on 12/17 you were appointed in that one. It just didn't make it. Hey, Mr. Maresca.
Hey, Judge.
So Mr. Youngblood got my message and zoomed in, and I just looked at the other 2 cases that you have, Mr. Maresca, that 20 CF 1592 and the 20 CF 1557. And it does appear that on December the 17th, Mr. Youngblood was appointed to represent this individual in these 2 cases. So we just need to make the record reflect that he's appointed on all 3 cases. So then the question is, what would we like to do with these? Do we want to put these on another case management, but it would be private attorney case management?
Yes, that would be my request, Your Honor. Waive speedy trial.
That would be fine, Judge.
Ms. Fuentes, what date could we give them for this gentleman?
May 6th at 1:30.
May 6th at 1:30.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Very
All
good,
right.
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, hold on. We, even though there is a notation on the file that says that Attorney Youngblood was appointed, it looks like nobody signed an order. So I will do an order appointing you, Mr. Youngblood, in both cases. Let me get your address and phone number so I can add it to the order.
Okay, 8805 Tamiami Trail North,
Okay.
number 308,
Okay.
Naples, 34108.
34108. And what's the phone number?
239-405-1604.
Okay, so I will sign orders this morning appointing you in both cases. That way it'll be clear for the record.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great day.